Good afternoon. It's that time. This is Angela Jordan Perry with Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. All right, let's see if we can get ourselves started. I hope you all are having a great day so far. Come on in and let us know where you are viewing us from. Woo-hoo! It's that time. All righty, let me get my guest on here. Let's see, everything is set. Yes, things are set there. Let's share it. This is going to be a great one for all of you who are out of Tennessee, if my memory serves me right. That is where our guest is today. She's out of Tennessee. An amazing homeschooling mom. A lot of people have requested her to have an interview, so I'm really excited to have this time to get to know her. And let's see, we're going to share it. You all come on in and let us know where you're viewing us from. What city and state do you homeschool in? Introduce yourself. So for those of you who don't know and you're seeing this woman pop up in your feed, this is Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. Yes, it is. All right, let me share one other place and we'll be all set. All righty, ready? Our guest should be joining in just a moment. All right, very good. We're set. All righty. Wonderful. I can't wait to share this with you and let you know all about Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling, what this is all about. Hi, Mary. Welcome in. Welcome. As you all come in, go ahead and hit the share button or tag a friend in the comment section so they can be sure to join in as well. This is one of the best kept secrets here. Hey, Kelly. So anyway, yeah, hit the share button, tag a friend in the comment section, and I'm going to explain more about Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling as I wait for our guests to get in. Hey, Heather from Blacksburg, South Carolina. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a little bit. Let us know where you're viewing us from, and we're going to get started. Just waiting on my guests to come on board here. And she should be joining in a moment. She says, okay, so she got the message. Very good. How are you doing, Heather? Everything's going well for you? Haven't seen you in it's been a couple of weeks, I think. Everything's going for you. Hi, Kelly. How are you? Good to see you on here, Kelly. Very good. So this is going to be another great interview. Homeschooling mom, veteran. Oh, wow. She's been homeschooling a very long time. She is a math genius, if you will, is just amazing. I can't wait to share more about her and hear from her. Good. It's going great. We went camping last week, just me and the 5 boys. Hubby had to wait. Wow. I have been wondering if I'm going to be brave enough to go camping without my husband. I haven't got there yet. We enjoy camping too, but I just need to get a little bit warmer. We usually go a couple of times each year, and we haven't gone yet. Well, I'm waiting for it to get warm before we go. Today is chilly here in South Carolina, where I'm at in the mountain area. So, let's see, make sure all is well. Waiting on her. It was in a camper. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's see, just a second. Let me get her. Hey, Lauren. All right. How are you doing, Lauren? Glad to see you on here, my friend. We had a great interview with Lauren just this past on Monday. So you all go back and hit the replay and listen to that. That was very insightful. I mean, I could have kept talking with her over and over. There's so much information. It was very good. Very good nuggets. The one thing you get is the insights and wisdom and nuggets of others. She was our Purple Cow episode. I mean, a veteran. She's done homeschooling, but she's still pouring into the homeschool community. So you want to go check that out and get connected with her there. All right, let's make sure all is well. Lauren, can't believe we caught your interview today. Yay! Yep, every Friday at 2 o'clock. Alrighty, let's see. She's having a little bit of issues finding us. Lauren, you know about issues. You can do tech checks and do all of that and still, and still, you just never know how it's going to end out. All right, so yes, we're just waiting on our interviewee to come on. Thanks, guys, as you join in. Be sure to let me know where you're viewing Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling from. Yep. Let me know where you're viewing us from, and then also be sure to hit the share button so it can go on your page. Other homeschoolers can see it. And then also, there we are. Here she is. Also, tag a friend and in the comment section so that they can pop in and say, hey, check this out. There we go. Yay. All right. Very good. All right, so it's already been shared onto the Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling page, Trinda. So if you want to share it from there to your groups and your pages, that'd be great. And let me know when you've done that.
Okay, I sure will. Thanks.
Thank you. Yay, I was getting a little concerned. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Very good. Sure.
Luckily, my skills are better than my tech skills.
Honey, I understand. I understand. All right, so once you shared it, you can go ahead and airplane mode, and then we have the feedback in there. I'll make sure I do the same here.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go on airplane mode.
Okay, on your computer. Okay, very good, very good. All right, girlfriends, it's almost time. We about to start it. Your feedback, yeah. I'm on airplane mode. Okay, that's you.
Airplane mode, done.
All right, very good. Hello, Tara. Yes. Okay. All right, 1, 2, 3. I did it backwards. I usually say 3, 2, 1. Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. I am turned up for today's interview. We have a amazing homeschooling mom. You're out of Tennessee, is that correct?
No, I'm in Texas.
You're in Texas. Okay, I'm getting all my interviews mixed up. So we have an amazing interviewee. She's out of Texas. I'm going to tell you more about her. But first, let me let you know what this is all about. I still hear some feedback. Is it, you have anything else on? Is just your phone?
Just my phone.
Okay, just your phone. All right. All right, well, this is Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling, and I am Angela Jordan Perry. I'm the host of this platform. This platform is to give voice to the homeschooling diaspora, African homeschooling diaspora, as well as the marginalized homeschooling. Here you hear their stories, their success, their challenges, their nuggets, their wisdom, their insights about homeschooling. Basically, hashtag we homeschool too, and we are doing it well, and our children are triumphing over. Victoria's in homeschooling. I mean, we have our challenges, but they're getting it done, going on to college, adults, working, entrepreneurs, they're doing wonderful. So this is what this platform is all about. And just a little bit about me. Again, I'm Angela Jordan Perry. I'm a homeschooling mom of 8 children, 18 years now. We graduated off 3. We have 5 more that we're homeschooling. Hope to soon adopt 2 more so that it adds 7 to homeschooling. And we're small farmers here in the upstate of South Carolina where we make our home. We have just enough self-sustaining farm is basically what it is. And so then I also serve in the homeschooling community here in my state. So that's just a little bit about me really quickly. But we're here to talk about our interviewee. Trinda Mushambi is who I have. Yay! So let me tell you just a little bit about Trinda. Trinda, are you ready to make it happen?
I'm ready. I'm excited and I'm honored.
Good deal. Very good. But Trinda Mushambi is a married homeschooling mom of 2 gifted boys. She's been homeschooling for over 9 years, manages and directs several co-op groups, including Robotics clubs, Toastmasters, PSAT Mat for Fun, and is the founder of The Village. Trinda specializes in teaching the language, big capital letters, the language of math. She strongly believes the language of math should be taught to fullest at the early ages. As a professional, she possesses an impressive bio. Trinda, she has a BA in accountant and finances, certified public accountant, owner of Party Pieces, which she has some amazing pieces. She constantly posts amazing things she's created. And she's owner of Out of Tutoring. So we'll have her share more about that as well. So without further ado, we're going to get started with our interview. Trinda, I told the girlfriends just a little bit about you. If there's more to share, please share. And then also, how did you get started in homeschooling?
Okay, about me, what you didn't share is I've always loved teaching. I always loved kids. But I did not grow up saying I'm going to homeschool my kids. I was not one of those baby rubbers. And I call them baby rubbers, or the people who knew as soon as they were born, they were supposed to homeschool their kids.
Okay.
Mine kind of started out of necessity in the sense that when I was teaching my kids at a younger age, when it was time for them to go to school, I already knew they were too far advanced. It was a big struggle because the system doesn't really help gifted kids at a younger age. And they informed me that they couldn't get tested until third grade. So I was like, oh, we're in kindergarten. What do we do until third grade then?
Right.
So, I mean, that's how I got started into homeschooling. I was an accountant by trade. I used to have an accounting business. And of course, you can't some people do homeschool and have a business, but I didn't have the flexibility of the hours. So I gave up my accounting business and then started homeschooling.
Gotcha. Wow. Okay. So how long has it?
I always loved numbers. I always loved numbers.
Always loved numbers. So how long have you actually been homeschooling, Trinda?
If you count the preschool years, 9 years.
9 years. And what are the ages of your boys?
They are 10 and basically almost 13.
13, 10 and 13. Okay, good. So just for the girlfriends here, when you say that, they were pretty advanced, give us a snapshot picture of what that looked like and, where they were just too advanced to head on to public school. What was that? What did that look like?
My first snapshot with my oldest one, he was in the first grade. And he was invited to be on a third grade or second grade math team. And I was going over the questions with him. Yeah, I remember vividly, it was an elevator question. He said, well, we're going to let that be X because it's unknown, and we're going to move forward to that. So we never discussed algebra, but he already knew that needed to be X. So I was like, oh, we need to be moving a little bit faster than what we're going.
Wow, okay.
So I started revamping everything that they were learning. And my basis and my background was from, I call it the Texas University or Texas Education Board, and they refer me to a website that I can go in and figure out which all the kids are supposed to be learning from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. As a new homeschooler, you eagerly go and you go look at this website. And it outlined everything they need to know from kindergarten, first grade. So I was like, okay. So he was actually in first grade then. And then so I looked at it and I said, he knows all that. And then I looked at the second grade. I was like, oh, he knows that. And third grade, he knows that. But what was the eye-opening thing that really helped me to say, I really need to start teaching other kids. When I looked at the first grade one and the third grade, there was very little variance. And I was like, why did they just start with the third grade and just teach them a little bit longer? Instead of trying to rush them in a year, if they start at third grade, maybe take 18 months to teach it so they can have a background. And that's I started doing with my kids. I'll just pick a grade and I'll tell them, hey, you may not get it this year. But it's not, if it's like 10th grade work, I was like, you may not get it this year, but it's not going to take you 5 years to get it.
Gotcha.
Then move on from there.
That is very interesting concept. And so we definitely got to dissect that a little more. Do you have any concern that do it that way, that there would be any gaps, the word gaps that you hear I've heard it through families who's had children in public school, uh, gaps of learning, like they understand maybe third grade work and understand fourth grade work, but some things in first grade or second grade they miss. I mean, did you have any concern for gaps?
Yes. Anybody knows me, I'm a little bit OCD.
Okay.
And it's our that you asked me, because now they're going to think we prepared this, but I actually went through and typed up a list, and it's like 8 pages, and it's broken down by strand of what they need to learn in math. For example, it might say place value, and it said, okay, this is what they should learn in kindergarten, place value. This is what they should learn in second grade, place value. And again, all this is just from TEACS, which is the Texas education thing. And I wrote it down, and we go back and we revisit it. So we're not missing any gaps.
Gotcha.
But sometimes what I'll do in one setting, I'm like, okay, you need to know this in place values. Can we not conquer all the years in place value and just move forward? Can we conquer everything for decimals and then move forward? And then they need to know. And we constantly review.
Gotcha. Wow, you're blowing up. That's a great concept. Oh my goodness. I'm taking notes. That is, I mean, while I am an advocate for not being a curriculum, and you allow the curriculum to lead and guide you in your studies, basically you're saying, okay, here's all the things we have to learn. Let's just go through it and just knock it out at a very accelerated pace. You got it? Let's move on. And even if it's, like you said, 10th grade work, let's do it. If you can get it, get it. If not, we'll review it. Do you think that your background in math helped you in that sense? Like a mom, I love math, so maybe I'm not a good one, but I love math. So a mom who's not strong in math, do you think that's something that they cannot do, and your background help you because, I mean, you can teach them that way because of your background, and particularly in math?
No, I think any mom who's creative and has a love for learning can do it. When my kids were at excelling, a lot of people saying they're excelling because they're quote unquote gifted, and they were really kind of curious. Could I take the same platform and teach any other kid? Luckily, I had a friend who let me use her kid as a guinea pig.
Okay.
Been teaching him tutoring him for 3 years now. He's 9-ish. He can do the distributive property, like X, bracket, X to the second square to the third. Do he just start doing it? No. He can tell you what exponents, what radicals are. It's taking a long approach, and we just kind of baby feet. If I introduce something that they go, the wide-eyed, and I say, don't worry about it, because my thing is not to push them, but meet them at their level. And this is in any subject. You can tell when they start getting like frustrated, and I said, that's okay. We're going to put it in the 1-month drawer. It's an imaginary drawer, and I don't even really put it on my calendar for the month, but I just kind of put it off to a side. Invariably, even if we don't discuss it for a month or whatever, and we pull it back out, they know a little bit more, and we'll just go over again. If they get it, they get it. If they don't, we'll just put it back in the 1-month drawer. It's kind of like when you're learning something or anything, the way the school system says is you're going to learn this much about fractions. You're in 3rd grade. You're going to learn this much about integers in 4th grade, etc. What I found is a lot of kids take an interest in a certain area. Like when my youngest was in like 3rd grade, he was fascinated by fractions. So we went all the way through fractions. I mean, even to like algebra, but it didn't faze me because he was fascinated by fractions. Mm-hmm. And I kind of tailor what I teach according to what the kids want. I have another kid who, bless his heart, sometimes he's in a a cocky mood, right? And he said, "Oh, that's easy." So I'll just keep challenging him until he goes, "Oh, wait a minute."
Yeah, I mean that is really unique. Very, very good insights. That ladies right there, girlfriends, that gets right there. And again, for many of us who either homes unschooling or those like me who enjoys a curriculum, the idea is give it to them. Give it to them. If they eat it, give them more. They eat it, give them more. Give them more. Don't halt them even if they're 5 and now we've gone so far in the fraction. Just keep doing it. And if it's too much, put it aside, come back. That's basically it. And in any subject, really, right? Any
Absolutely.
subject. Woo! That's good. That's good. All right, Trinda, tell us what was your first year like when you decided to stop working, to stop your accounting, business, and to start homeschooling and being OCD, if you will. What was your first year of homeschooling like?
The first year was a lot of research, a lot of questions. What I found was there wasn't really much out there for homeschoolers, so you kind of had to create your own. I think that's maybe an advantage, maybe the older homeschoolers we have, is because we couldn't just go off to the shelf and find something that met our kids' need. We just had to kind of create it. Um, One of the myths that I did have when I now quickly learned after my first year, I thought I needed to know everything I taught my kids.
Mm.
And I used to stay up because I'm teaching them geography, which was totally my worst subject because then I was like, okay, I do not want them to be hindered by geography. So I used to try to stay up and memorize the countries. And I was like, you know what? I don't need to know everything that I'm teaching. And as soon as I got past that, a lot of stress went off my head. There's enough videos, TV shows, books, or friends that can teach your kids things they need to know besides us.
Absolutely. That is so true. That's so true. So with that segue, you told me a little bit about this village that you've created. And in part, what I desire to do with Girlfriends is Guide to Homeschooling, as I have you in Texas and people in Louisiana, Nebraska, Iowa, California, all over this country. To me, this is extending our village. Like you said, we don't have to know it all, but we just need to be in contact with someone else who knows what we don't know so that our child can have that information or that resource. So share with the village because that's something that you have incorporated into your family, your homeschooling community. Give us the vision behind that. What has it done? What do you hope it to do so that we can also consider what that could look like for us?
Okay, the village officially launched around a year ago. I learned many years ago is you have to align yourself with people of excellence. And from that one person, you may only learn one skill, but it's a skill that you would not have learned if they have not been introduced in your life. So I would meet these people and I was like, oh my God, they're such a good business owner. Oh my God, she's so elegant in words. Oh my God, they're so, and I was like, I want my kids to learn from them. And what I found is I would keep referring to, oh, my friend this, my friend that to my other friends. And then I was like, oh my God, what if we all met? We all shared our skills and we committed to helping each other's kids. I shot out an email, text, I'm not sure I remember, and everyone was so excited. What makes us our village? We're all homeschooling parents. We're all African Americans, and we're all quote unquote successful. And we're all quote unquote Christians. We have some different beliefs, but we definitely have the well-being of our kids in mind. One of the first event we launched was just the adults. We got to share why we homeschool, some of our concerns, and a kind of vision. But what I tried to make very clear was this is a village, so we all need to take ownership of each other's kids. So if I hear something that may benefit another parent's kid, but won't benefit mine, I'm going to go and do it. So that was our first meeting. Our second meeting was put together by the dads. Totally impressed. They share what they did for a living, and they planned it from top to bottom. The menu, they did PowerPoint presentation. They had hands-on activities for the kids. We're planning a business expo. We're all really, we want our kids to be business owners. So we're going to do a business expo, and we'll have the works for a fishing/camping trip. What makes us different from a different co-op is that we're really in each other's lives. Mm-hmm. Like this morning, I was texting them about an event. You know, if one of the parents can't come, oh, drop your kids over. You know, if I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how to teach my kid this, and it could be a character issue, I'm going to go to one of the people in the village first.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that concept. And we need to do more and more and more of that. So in a small way, this is what Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling is too. It's a village connecting our like-minded, all homeschool for the most part of the African homeschooling diaspora, connecting so that we can draw from. And if we had that mindset of, I guess the mindset of abundance, and that we not only are looking out for ourselves, but for the whole, wow, what thriving, what catapulting we will experience in our homeschooling and for our kids. Kudos to you all for doing it on the smallest scale. That is beautiful, beautiful. Let me ask you this. Now, take us to you've been homeschooling for 9 years. Take us to your worst day of homeschooling, Trinda. Now, my mantra is no one gets a ticket to perfect. We have, our ups and downs, highs and lows or whatever, but we have the thick of real life while we're homeschooling. Take us to your worst day of homeschooling, where you almost thought, I'm going to quit, I'm done. If you had that day. Okay. Take us to that day, but you didn't quit. And that's why you're this amazing homeschooling mom that you are today.
And I can only share one, right? Because we have lots of those.
Okay.
Okay, but the ironic part is, since I started homeschooling, I've always lived within walking distance of a school. So it makes you wonder, should I just send them to school? But one of my worst, or oh my God, I've totally failed this kid, was probably like 3 years ago. I mentioned that my kids were gifted. One of my kids I didn't realize was gifted at all until 3 years ago. So he was 7. So I thought, oh my God, he's 7. And I have not been doing anything special with him, versus my other one. When he was probably like 2, I knew. But the other one had the emotional things that go with being gifted, that it totally overlooked it. So they would normally, when as homeschooling parents, it's not your worst day in homeschooling. A lot of times it's your worst day in homeschooling, parenting. It all just kind of rolls in together. And I was like, how did I miss this? So now we can laugh about it, that I was like, oh my God. And I remember just going and calling my friends and go, I missed this, and I'm supposed to be an expert in
this. That is interesting. So you triumphed out, you pull yourself together and it's like, okay, I got this. Let's move on, adjust, and move forward. So kudos. So tell us, conversely, what is your most memorable day of homeschooling? I mean, to the degree, Trinda, where you were almost in tears, like, this is why I do what I do. This right here. Share that story with us, Trinda.
That was last year. Let me go back up. I homeschool my kids, one, because I want to meet their academic needs, but more I want to build their character. So last year, my son was in a math competition, and he was going to be on 2 teams. He was going to be on his grade level team, and he was going to be a grade up level. Okay. He was favored to win his grade level, but he was kind of just participating, as a watcher in the next grade level. Well, for his grade level, he came almost second to last because of careless mistakes. He was in tears. Even the judge was like, I'm sorry, but you skipped a couple of problems. We can't give you, and they were easy questions. He was heartbroken and I was heartbroken, right? But here comes the exciting part, right? His team rallied behind him because he wanted to stop. He didn't want to go to the next one because he was just there to participate. And we talked, we prayed about it, and we discussed it. And I said, you know what? Your goal was to win this one. Now I'm going to get all emotional. But your goal for your sixth one is to participate. Let's just meet the goal, okay? We went, we had ice cream. He goes, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for you, and I'm going to do it for my team. End of the story, he ends up winning the next grade level competition. And I was like, this is why we do it, he did not want to. And I was like, this is why we do it, It's for the character, because if he said he didn't want to do it, I wasn't going to force him.
Right. Wow, how ironic. And that, I'm sure that boosted himself, like not to have passed or did well or in his own grade level, but to pass and win the next grade level. How about that? That's amazing. Good job.
Yeah, when your blessings are right around the corner.
Yeah. Don't give up. Persevere. Keep going. Make it happen. No matter, even don't. My thing I just posted the other day is control your emotions. Allow your thinking your thinking to supersede your emotions, how you feel. So get in control of your thought processes. So good for him. Excellent. Tell me as well. Well, let me let everyone know what's going on here. So all of you who are here on Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling, you see this pop up in your news feed, and you're like, who are these women? This woman right here with a little box by her head. What's going on? Well, this is Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling, okay? This is, again, a platform for the African homeschooling diaspora and the marginalized homeschooling, really for anyone to come in and to share their story, their journey, their successes. And so today we have Trinda Mushambi with us today out of Texas, giving us her interview and her successes and her stories and her triumphs and words of nuggets. So you all be sure to tag a friend, share this so that others can see and be a part of the interview process. If you have questions ahead of time, I will be happy to ask Trinda about those too, okay? So Trinda, this next part of our show as we go here is some questions just to pick your brain and give us some quick answers and some thought processes around those, okay? So what is your favorite quote that has been your mantra through this homeschooling journey?
It's a quote that we actually have painted on our wall, and it says, I am somebody.
Like that.
In life, so many people will tell us we can't do this, or even our self-talk is very simple. But when we feel like, I blew it, I can't do it, just say, you know what, I am someone. To me, that kind of reminds me how God created us. He didn't create us as an imminent thing. We're someone, and we're someone special.
Absolutely. What is something that unique in the Mushambi school that you all creative is something that you have taken ownership that's unique to just your homeschool? Share that with us.
I'm not sure unique, but we love watching movies, educational movies or just movies. And some reason, if we use the word movie, it's you gotta have the popcorn, you gotta have the chips, even if it's a 30-minute movie, and we just love watching movies and getting our little blankets and just watching everything.
Do you do that during school, schooling time, or is that like something you do at in the evening as a family time together?
Oh, we do both. And it's so funny because it can be called a TV show, but if we call it the movie, it just triggers.
Okay.
Oh, that means pop and chips and, and snacks. Oh, yeah.
Unique. That's very cool. Very cool. What is the best piece of advice that you've received during your homeschooling journey, Trinda?
I'm not sure if these were the exact words, but what it means is stay in your lane. Um, it doesn't mean we don't make detours or get another roadmap out, but in the homeschooling world, because we're so involved in each other's lives, we can easily look at the other family and go, oh my God, they're selling in art. They're selling in robotics. Oh my God, they're doing this, they're doing that. But you got to remember what your plan is for your kids and for your family and stay focused on that. Um, I think actually two of my friends showed me a little chart and I made it where it kind of outlined what I wanted them to do or what I thought their interest would be. And it went all the way up to 12th grade. We have modified it according to year by year, but the end goal is the same, you know. But what that helps is a lot of times things will pop up in your Facebook or in your friends will talk to you about. You can look at this little simple sheet of paper and go, you know what? We take that road, we will not end up here.
Very
So
good.
stay in your lane and trust where you're going.
Very good. That is sound wisdom, girlfriends. That is for sure sound wisdom. What is your favorite resource or book in your library? You have a nice library back there that you feel that every homeschooler must have this thing, this book, resource in their library.
It's called the Teacher's List. After the show, I'll see if I can get a snapshot of it. But it has a list of almost anything that you would need as far as grammar purposes, like list of nouns, irregular words, books, poems. It's just a big list of things. But I love it. I found it at Half Price Bookstore years ago, and I refer back to it every year.
Wow. Okay. Very good. The Teacher's List.
Yes.
Okay, good deal. All right, I want to jump back to this question that we just had, just as a continuum of that, and staying in your lane. And a big part of that is what your philosophy is in schooling. What is your goal? And what you're saying, Trinda, know what you want to do in your vision for your homeschool and stay in that vein. You know, you can learn and grasp if you need to, but don't go yet have you going everywhere if you look at everyone and what they're doing. So share with us your homeschool philosophy.
What I tell my kids all the time is we're going to take your strength and we're going to run with it. We're going to work on your weaknesses just enough so it does not take away from your strengths. My kids, they're excellent in math, but language art is not our thing. We can't ignore it, even though we struggle with it. So we have to continue to work on our language art. So whatever career they choose or whatever they want to do, it doesn't keep them down.
That's good. I like that. Very sound wisdom. Woo! Mom, Trinda is giving us some nuggets today. This is good. Good stuff. You all be sure to hit the replay and go back and listen to it. Very, very insightful. Very good stuff. Let's see. One other thing. Are there any particular resources, online resources, apps, or anything that you can recommend that has been, greatly or benefit to your homeschool, Trinda?
I think maybe because I'm eclectic, I use so many resources. I guess your greatest resource, which is probably not the answer you want, is to listen to your kids. I'm in the planning mode. So when I'm getting ready to register my kid for a math class, I've actually sent him to the website that has the descriptions on the math, and I've given him, okay, these are the ones you're qualified to take. Which class do you want to take? And let them choose, give them some say. Mine are 13 and 10, but they have opinions of what they want to take. And just listen to them.
Very good.
And just recently, I was going to, and make sure you're really clear, communicate that to them. I was going to register my son for a class, We had set up the interview. We were going over the questions that I thought they may ask him. And when he got to one question, I said, well, why do you even want to take this class? He couldn't answer. I was like, okay. I said, they're probably going to ask you that because it's an advanced class. And he looked at me, he goes, I want to take the class because you want me to take the class.
Mm.
And I was like, I wanted you to take the class because I thought you wanted to take the class. You know, he goes, I don't want to take it. I'm like, oh, that's fine with me. You know, saves me a couple $100. So what I've, communicated to him is, if there's a class that I'm signing you up for and you don't want to take it, you need to communicate it. If it's a class that you just have to take, I'm sorry. I will say, I'm sorry. This is one we can't get around. You got to take it. But if you don't communicate it, then you might be taking a bunch of classes that you're going to be enjoying. And that's not what it's about.
Very good. Very good. Well, Trinda, we're on our last question, the $1 million question. Are you ready?
Do I get $1 million?
Pretend money. But here we go. Trinda, if you had to start all over again, back to day one, but you have all your current wisdom, knowledge, skills, convictions, insights, what would be the first to be sure to implement, or something you're sure not to do as you start on this day one of homeschooling all over again?
I would not buy textbooks for the first 2 years or 3 years, up until they were like second, third grade. Will we learn? Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, if you can see, I have tons and tons of resources. You know, a lot of them we used, a lot of them we didn't. So take that time to learn what your learning style is, what your kids want to learn, and then go out and purchase the material that meets you. Don't buy the curriculum and try to meet to it. There's enough out there now that you can just think, no. And I can do that now. I can go look a book. Oh, normally if it's too many pages, we're not going to do it. We like short and simple.
So what do you do? Let me just expound on that again. So your suggestion is I would not get textbooks and anything for the first 2-3 years. Would you have an unschooling approach, or would you just have your own freestyling of what you want to make sure that they're learning in these subjects? What would that look like, Trinda?
I wish I can do unschooling. I'm too OCD for that. But as an adult, we know first and second grade material. Even if you don't have college, or or even if you didn't even graduate from high school, the fact that you're making it in life knows you have first and second grade material. Pour in all that knowledge into them and just do it more like lighthearted, more as you go. And again, because I'm OCD, you might have a checklist, to make sure you're still getting it done. But it doesn't have to be a workbook. It doesn't have to be a textbook. Just do life.
That's good. Woo! Girlfriend, Trinda, I like what the uniqueness about this interview is, that while these are nuggets, I mean, they're like just bite-sized nuggets. She's giving you enough to chew on and not have to be like, whoa, let me go sit down and think about that. Simple, bite-sized nuggets with wisdom, all around it. So Trinda, that just excellent. So if you all are just joining, we had Trinda Mushambi with us out of Texas, homeschooling mom of 9 with 2 boys, ages 10 and 13. And again, you all hit the replay button. Simple nuggets. You miss it. If you don't she just laid it out so very simple and clearly. And even me, I got some good notes. So thank you, Trinda. So Trinda, any last words of advice you want to share with the girlfriends? Also share anything that you have your hands involved in that you'd like us to know, as you're an extended part of the village. And then if they want to continue this conversation, what is the best way they can get in contact with
you? The best way, I guess, is through Facebook Messenger. So they can definitely reach out to me that way. My biggest nugget is remember is you don't have to be perfect. You can tell your kids that you screwed up. And if you can't teach a subject, find someone that does. I have a friend, a dear friend, who teaches my kids more in a coaching style, language art. And we laugh. I'll send her a text message, and she goes, you spelled that wrong. And I said, you already know what I'm going to say. And she laughs. She goes, yeah, language art is the devil. Meaning that we have to use it, to get through our life, but it's in our household. But luckily, I have aligned myself with someone who can give my kids a great foundation with it. So even though you can't teach it, that doesn't mean your kids have to be weak in the area. Find someone, get your own support team.
Good deal. Good deal. Anything you want us to know? Maybe let us know about your business that we can, as an extended village, we can know what you have your hands involved in.
Oh yes. Oh thanks. Probably like a year ago, at the urging of some friends, I started our party planning business. I've done it several times with different events. It's for free. And when my friends said, I'm going to slap you if you don't just start your business. So I do party planning. I like actually creating the pieces, like custom letters, t-shirts, glasses, and it's called Party Pieces, and it can be found on Facebook. So you'll have to ask to join, but would love to have you be part of the group. And it was Party Pieces.
Beautiful, beautiful. Very good. Thank you. Girlfriends, listen, you are the average sum of the 5 people you hang out with. And for this past hour, you've been hanging out with Trinda Mushambi out of Texas. So you all keep up the momentum and continue to connect with positive influences that's going to make a positive impact in your life, in your schooling journey, and your philosophy, and your processes as you journey on this homeschooling, okay? And then you be that positive source that others can draw from, a reciprocation here. Receive and you can give, receiving and giving. So be sure to be a positive impact that others can and draw from as well. So Trinda, I just want to let you know, Girlfriends is Homeschooling. I just appreciate you, and I'm very grateful for you taking up your time to share your wisdom, your insights, your knowledge, your nuggets. I'm telling you, girlfriend, go back and hit replay and listen to this again. So Trinda, so grateful for you, and just pray that all that you do, that the Lord will bless it and multiply it abundantly. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very good. So listen, girlfriends, you need to go head over to Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. Be sure to hit like or follow if you're not there already. Follow and like. So when we have other live interviews such as we've had with Trinda, you can hear them and get a part of it and see it, hear it, take in some other insights and see a little glimpse into someone else's life homeschooling. Maybe it's something that you can learn from and adopt as you are figuring out, or just maybe honing your homeschooling journey. Follow us also on YouTube. Subscribe there at Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschool. We have our podcast with our Girlfriends Chats. It's called GG2H, the number 2, GG, the number 2H, dash Angela J. Perry. And there you can hear just a little snaps conversation that I have. Maybe we dig into a little deeper on one single subject or topic in our conversation. And then also on Tumblr, all this information is right there on Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling, where you can connect to. So again, just remember this. Remember, to teach a child is to touch a life. And as we homeschool, we not only touch a life, but shape the future through our efforts of homeschooling. So keep making this positive impact day after day and year after year. It is going to be worth it. And if you are not able to do it fully, just like Trinda, build yourself a village. Build a village. Build what you want and what you need, and so that you can be holistic as possible in your homeschooling journey, okay? So until next time, this is Angela Jordan Pear with Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. Thanks for joining me today. 3 more interviews coming up next week on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays are days. So we'll see you then. So Trinda, thank you again, and you have a blessed weekend, okay? Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.